Yo, YouTube. What's good, man? I feel like I haven't been live in front of you guys in a minute, bro. So yeah, it's good. I want to thank you guys for the support while I've been gone. I've uploaded like little beats and the old videos, and I'm still seeing a good amount of growth. So I do appreciate you guys for that so much. We are on the road to 500 subscribers still, and I think once I start uploading more consistently, we should be able to hit that in no time. And I'll explain why I haven't been in a minute. That's what this whole video is about. So yeah, I mean, let's get into it, man. So the first thing I want to talk about is where I've been. So as some of you know, I am enrolled in my first year of college. I graduated high school in in June of 2025, and I went straight into college. All right, I go to Humber College in Toronto, Canada, and I'm pursuing music as my major. But it hasn't been necessarily what I expected it to be. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, there have been some things that I wish I seen, and some things I wish I haven't seen. Maybe that'll be a separate video on its own. But yeah, that's just where I've been. Now, in that, right, in that regards, I want to talk about what else I do. You guys know me obviously as a producer, but I also am a drummer, and I was a drummer before I was a producer. I started drumming by 2 years old, pretty sure. And then I just haven't stopped, drum every day, every weekend. I go out, I play gigs, churches, funerals, weddings, whatever, I'm a real big drummer. And that's why in the first place I went to school for music. And then I picked up a bunch of things along the way. Producing was one of them. And this is the one that's really stuck with me. So and again, we'll get more into that in the deeper sections of the video. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the next thing is how I'm feeling about my whole situation right now, like being in college and being a content creator, producer, trying to fit them all in one bubble. That's my life. um I'm not necessarily in the happiest spot right now, because I feel like I can't divvy all my attention up into like all these different areas. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I gotta separate um my attention from education, music, production, YouTube. And that's the four different slots that I gotta kind of um hezzy around and move around and try to do the best to keep them all up at the same time. But eventually one of them always falls. If it's not my YouTube, then it's my grades. If it's not the grades, then it's the production, and it's like I can't seem to be able to handle all four at once. And so that's what's really been kicking me in the butt right now, is I've had to make some sacrifices. And I never necessarily wanted YouTube to ever have to be one of those. But it was, and that caused me to do a lot of thinking about my current situation and where I'm at. I don't like where I'm at right now. I think I could be in a better place, doing better things, and not having to essentially like spread my attention across whatever I'm doing. I feel like I could be in a spot where I can do everything at once and it all feels like the same thing. And that's what I've been striving to achieve. That's where I need to be. And the truth of the matter is, this school is not helping with that goal. I don't think this is necessarily where I belong. I think they have a great program, great faculty, in a great community, but I just don't think I it fits what I need, and that's okay. There's a lot of schools out there. I only applied for like 3 schools, and one of them was a backup school in case I didn't get into the other two. And those were Humber College, McMaster University, and Berklee College of Music. Those are my 3 schools. And I'm going to get into that later. But yeah, I wanted to be in a spot where I could do everything and it felt like a breeze. And I believe the only place I can achieve something like that is Berklee College of Music. Now, a little bit of background on me. I went there for my first time in 2024 in February. I went there with my brother and my parents. And we just did like a tour around Boston, and then we made it to the campus, and then we got a campus tour, and that's when I was like, it felt like meeting your long distance girlfriend, bro. It's like a dream come true. Like it's really like right in front of your eyes, type. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was like, yo, by any means necessary, I gotta get into this school. And I had just the craziest drive from 2024 to 2025. Like it was all just center focused. Nothing could tell me anything. Everything was just music, drums, Berklee. Like I had to get into that school. Come 2024 summertime, I went to their summer program, Aspire 5-week. That was one of the best times I've ever had away from home. I feel like I got so much done. I grew so much, and I even got college credits, So I was like, yeah, I'm going to this school. And I think the star highlight of that whole thing was I was able to audition to get into the school at the program. And I got in to the school for real. And I was like, this is it. I'm going to go to school for music. I'm going to get into a music production major that they have. And I'm going to be a producer when I grow up. It's my new dream. I want to be a producer. Yeah, I didn't end up going. If you can't tell, it was really expensive. I did get a scholarship, but it just wasn't big enough for my situation. And I wasn't able to attend the 25 to 26 year. So I decided, you know what, that's fine. I'm going to find the next best thing in Canada where I live. And that was, well, at least in local proximity, that was Humber College. That's where I go right now. That's where my brother goes right now. And yeah, they've been known to have a really strong music program for a long time. Their faculty is stacked. I'll tell you that much. All right. If you're a drummer or any musician, their faculty is pretty stacked. So yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, you know what? This is a good middle ground. All right. It's not the best of the best. It's not the worst of the worst. It's definitely up there. Well, not even middle ground. It's more, if this is bad, this is really good. Humber's like right here. Like they're up there with some of the best schools in music in Canada. So I was pretty excited. Not excited as my dream school, but I was pretty excited to get enrolled. And so I went first year, first couple of days in September, just feeling it out. The drum mods are amazing. I love them. Yeah, the equipment is awesome. Everything there is great, right? And then I realized the core difference between the 2 programs. One is a music program, and one is a music school with a bunch of music programs. You know what I'm saying? So to put it in perspective, right? Let's say you want a chocolate chip cookie. You know, let's say you want a chocolate chip cookie and you go to a bakery, right? And they have a bakery that has cakes, you got muffins, you got cupcakes, you got croissants, whatever, all the pastries you can think of. And you just want a chocolate chip cookie. And then you compare that to a cookie store with all these different types of cookies, bro. Right? All the cookies you could think of. Which store do you think you'd have a better chance at finding a chocolate chip cookie? You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between the two schools. And that's why I realized when I got there, I'm like, okay, they just don't have what I'm looking for. And that's okay. You know, like I said, it's nothing insane. I'm not bashing Humber or anything, but it's just not in my line of sight. Like they just don't have what I need to continue. And so that's why I felt kind of stuck, you know, in my journey right now. I feel kind of stuck. I have to do all the like producing, learning on my own. I haven't been able to get in touch with a bunch of production equipment. You know what I mean? I just kind of been doing what I've been doing since I was in high school, and that's just making beats, making content. So it's kind of felt like a side thing more than a primary thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just haven't been happy. So that's why yesterday I auditioned again to get into Berklee. And definitely went better than last time. I'll say that much. That last audition, it rings in my head all the time. Not that it was bad, but it's like I always have to think about maybe if I did a little better, I could have got a little more money. You know, maybe if my grades were better, could have got a little more money, so I could help out my parents and myself, and I could really pursue my own goal. Because it's not just me. You know, they got my sister who's also in school, who's they're paying for her college too. You know, her uni, and she's like fourth year. So yeah, they got a lot on their plate, and I just want to make sure I can do the best I can to give them as much leeway as possible, because Berklee it's a very expensive school, you know. And yeah, so, and another thing, all right, this is less for you guys, more like for me to kind of look back on this video and see, like, just remind myself of where I'm at, you know. Every time I look on my drum page, which is where I post all my drum content, you could say that, I always see these drummers that I've been looking up to for years. I've been looking up to them, you know, and recently I'm seeing, yo, these guys are all going to the same school as me next year, bro. Just this year, I'm realizing they're all planning to go to the same school as me that I'm planning to go to. It's like 7 months time from now. And obviously, you know, I've been in music school since September. I've been drumming for 16 years. And I still feel like I got ways to go to catch up to these guys, bro. Like when I get there this upcoming September, I don't want to be dead weight necessarily, you know. Not that I'm, you know, like terrible, but you know, iron sharpens iron. I can't be dull iron or rusted iron, you know, because then people will have nothing to build off of me. And that's like, can't have that. You know, I have to be able to walk in whatever we're doing. I just want to make sure that I'm leaving something there, leaving a part of me there, so people will kind of remember, and that's how I will build my connections and friends. You know, gotta have friends too. So yeah, just reminding myself about that, and I still have a lot of work to do for the next 7 months. So that was the rant. It was like a 15-minute video. I'm not gonna probably make some cuts where I'm just not speaking, but I'm gonna leave this video pretty raw. You know, I want this to be a very very vulnerable space nowadays. I want to make sure you guys see the real me. Like there's no barriers here. You know what I mean? So if y'all made it to the end, I appreciate you, and I'm excited. At the same time, you know, I said I'm not happy, but I'm also a little excited because I know that in a spot like this, it's kind of hard to get any lower. Like it's possible for sure, but it's kind of hard to not want to achieve my goals now. You know, like I'm motivated. I got a lot of things planned. I got a lot of videos planned. I'm trying to start up my drumming channel that's been dead in the desert for a long time now. So I'm gonna start that back up. I'm gonna keep working on Project Bands. You know, I'm Project Bands till I die. Like there's no change in that. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.